Hi, welcome back to Tesla Myth Bust, where we dive deep into the myths and truths surrounding Elon Musk and his ventures. Today, we're tackling a hot topic. Is Elon Musk materialistic, or is he an attention junkie? So buckle up, folks. It's gonna be a wild ride. Elon Musk, the man who tweets like there's no tomorrow, loves a good controversy, and picks public fights like they're going out of style. Is he just thirsty for attention, or is he that kind of kid who just can't sit still unless everyone's eyes are on him? Well, one thing is for sure, the world can't stop yapping about him, from trivial memes to matters that could actually reshape humanity. Now, back in the day, Elon wasn't always this loud about hot-button issues. Has success made him an attention junkie, or has it just given him the megaphone to blast unpopular truths to everyone? Maybe he's trying to just save us all from drowning in the sea of internet fluff. And let's not forget, he's got Asperger's syndrome, so smooth talker? Not really. But when you're the most powerful nerd on the planet, every awkward word you say becomes a headline. And boy, does he have a knack for awkward. Few can really relate to Elon's life. Imagine being a tech wizard, CEO of a multi-billion-dollar companies with top-level security clearances. It's really lonely at the top, man. Maybe a bit dull even. So stirring up controversies may just be his way of spicing his life up, spicing things up a little. So what's the verdict? Sure, he craves attention. A lot of us do. But is that all he wants? Definitely not. He's aiming to steer our focus towards what matters to him, and let's face it, humanity as well. So let's cut him some slack. He's human after all. Even if he does seem like a superhero, or in some people's eyes, a supervillain sometimes. On to chapter 2. Is it materialistic? Now, let's talk about Elon's wallet. Well, as of today, in May 2024, he's worth around $200 billion. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on Wall Street's mood swings. Most of it, though, comes from Tesla and SpaceX stock that he has. But is he living like Scrooge McDuck? Surprisingly, he hasn't cashed in most of his stock options. Instead, he lives off of low interest rate loans. No extravagant spending on 5-star dining, supermodel dates, or private jets, or golf courses. His private jet, 99% of its use are actually work-related. The only time he sold his stock really to buy something that he wants, like a significant portion, was when he wanted to buy Twitter for $44 billion. But it wasn't exactly a toy per se, because it took him over a year of hard work and a lot of firing and hiring to turn that ship around to profitability. So, you might wonder, what kind of car does he drive? Does he drive all kinds of fancy, luxurious cars that cost millions of dollars? Not really. On a day-to-day basis to work and most of his casual commute, he actually drives his Model X, his Model S, and actually being driven around by Suburbans for security reasons. He does have a few luxury cars, but they are mostly sentimental collectibles, not really million-dollar showpieces. Remember that famous McLaren F1 that he bought and then totaled basically pretty right after? He laughed it off and never really bought another one that cost $1 million. Does that seem materialistic to you?
Says, so what can this do? Probably number one on the list of famous last words. I said, watch this.
Now he actually, about his homes, he did used to own a few huge mansions, but now he no longer owns any of them. He has sold all of them in order to prove a point that he's not materialistic. He said so on Twitter. Imagine now if you're a multi-billionaire, hundreds of billions, and not splurging on a mansion, that nice view, that nice pool, and multiple entertainment rooms. He currently actually lives in a very small home in Texas, the size of which is similar to just like a boxable casita, about 400 square feet. Can you believe that? Talk about being devoted to advancing human civilization, not just on Earth, but on Mars, indeed. As for luxurious vacations, not a chance. He's known to be a workaholic, and has recently only started to take one full day off a week for his family. I think it's either Saturday or Sunday. For extended vacations, I haven't heard of him taking any really. The only time that he did was basically go on a yacht and being taken a photo of basically being hugely out of the sunshade, as he's mostly indoors. Running multiple billion-dollar companies doesn't really leave much time for lounging on a beach, I guess. Now in the chapter 3, is he an evil capitalist like most of them who have a lot of money on Wall Street and other places? Does he consider money above everything else? Let's look at his entrepreneurial journey in order to answer this question. I'm not going to go into all the details because I'm sure you've heard of most of it, but just to quickly reiterate, there are Zip2, PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and Twitter. If you look at the pattern, basically all of them are aimed at innovation, not exactly profit from the start. Purely profit-driven ventures and people generally don't achieve his kind of level of success.
Sure, that is inspiring and appealing. I mean, I just think that there have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Like, why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? And if we're not out there, if the future does not include being out there among the stars and being a multi-planet species, I find that it's incredibly depressing if that's not the future that we're going to have.
Now, Elon's goal is to back up humanity life on Mars, which requires immense capital. He reinvested his entire PayPal fortune into Tesla and SpaceX, despite a 99% chance of bankruptcy. He was this close to losing everything before the very first successful Falcon 1 launch into space and orbit. Does a money-minded person really go all in like that? I don't know any. And what about his approach to safety? Critics say naming it full self-driving before it's truly autonomous is reckless. But Tesla clearly labels it as beta, requiring driver attention, plus Tesla cars are statistically safer than gasoline cars. The media just loves to hype up any Tesla incident. Now let's compare Elon Musk with other successful entrepreneurs like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Both of them didn't really set out to make heaps of money either. Gates and Jobs saw market opportunities that the era desperately needed, and they quit whatever it is they were doing, some in really famous schools, some was doing some other important stuff, and focus on their passion and opportunity. Buffett was fascinated by value investing and company evaluation. The money followed because they focused on creating value and addressing real needs rather than focusing on money itself. Just like Musk, focusing on the mission. Now, Tesla's safety record speaks for itself. According to Tesla's 2020 data, there was one vehicle fire for every 200 million miles traveled. Now compare that to the National Fire Protection Association and the US Department of Transportation's data, which shows one vehicle fire for every 19 million miles traveled in gasoline cars. And that's 10 times more likely for gasoline cars to catch fire than EVs, despite the fact that you read a lot more about EV and Tesla fires, right? And let's not forget Tesla's structural safety. Their cars, like the Model Y and Model 3, have the highest safety ratings ever. Now why is that? Because they don't have an engine in the front, thus increasing the crumble zone and improving collision protection. Plus, Tesla's advanced materials and engineering further enhance that safety. So, is the profit driven to a point of neglecting human lives? Obviously, absolutely not. The facts show Tesla's commitment to safety and innovation, and thus Elon Musk's. So there you have it. Is Elon Musk an attention junkie? Is he materialistic? Is he an evil capitalist? Maybe just a tiny bit of each, because after all, he's a human being. But there's so much more to the story than just eye-catching, clickbaiting titles and overly simplified questions like these. Now, thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more Tesla busting content. See you next time.